Alrighty guys, welcome back to another day here in Blind Guy Fitness. So today I'm going to talk about what I'm doing on my first upper body day to get bigger, why I'm doing it, my thought process behind it, and why I have things laid out the way I do. So I am doing a upper lower body split where it's upper lower, rest day, lagging body part day, rest day, upper lower. And the reason for this is my amount of recovery on a bro split. My body just wasn't able to keep up with it at the weights I was lifting at. So it was making it very hard for me to make any further progress. And I was actually getting weaker while eating in a surplus at that time. So first thing we're going to start off today, flat bench. We're going to go ahead and do 3 warm-up sets and then into our 2 working sets. So one of the things I like to do when I go to set up on the bench is make sure fingers are in the same rings, as well as I pull myself up to that bar. Get a small arch, big breath, and then I'll unrack. And I make sure those reps come right into the bottom of my rib cage, or bottom of the sternum, just below the nipples. And it's like that on every rep, no matter what. Then one of the other things I like to do while I am benching and setting up is when I grab the bar, right before I unrack it, I think about trying to basically bend the bar in half, like a horseshoe. What that allows me to do is keep my elbows tucked in, as well as make sure I'm getting as much chest drive as I possibly can. So now the warm-up sets that I end up doing for bench press is 95, 135, 185. And what that ends up doing is allows me to get enough blood pushed into the chest and the front delts and the triceps to do my working sets. So then, once I'm done with those warm-up sets, we go into 2 sets of 5 of working sets. Which I did end up hitting a point of failure. So we're going to go ahead and bring the weight down a little bit on today's sets to 245. And these should be quite difficult in the way I'm currently setting up the bench. So that second set there, we just broke our 5 up into 3 plus 1 plus 1. We got the 5 reps done. We're going to work on having to get that back to a solid 5 by 5. Here's what it is. Being in deficit kind of damages your max strength. It will go down, but you are going to look better. So you got to deal with looking better for losing a little bit of strength. It's going to happen. But either way, now we're going to go ahead and move into cable flies, 3 sets, 15 reps. And the reason why I like to go from chest press to those is they're not as heavy of a load, but you can take them nice and slow, get a really hard contraction, just like you're trying to flex for most muscular. And by doing that, you're going to pump a huge amount of blood into them. So I've already got a pretty decent chest pump going now, but it's going to be at a whole nother level after we finish our flies. After bench press, cable flies, that takes care of chest for today. So now we're going to start moving into back. We're going to go ahead and move on to lat pull downs. So, the reason why I like to structure it going into my lats right after my chest is because the lats are already going to have some stimulus from bench pressing and stabilizing yourself and getting that drive out of the bottom of the bench press. So, they're already pumped up, they're ready to rock. So when doing lat pull downs, arch your back, get the shoulders pulled down, and then pull straight down to the top of your chest. By doing that, you're going to get complete lat engagement, a big squeeze, and at the same time, it's going to give you the biggest stretch that you can get up here at the top. So by keeping the shoulders pulled back, you're going to be under tension. So, with today being a chest-focused upper day, we only have one back movement on our chest upper day. Our second upper day is back-focused, in which that has 3 back movements with only 1 chest movement, or 2 chest movements, sorry. So now, we're going to go ahead and move into easy bar curls to start working the biceps. Now that they're a little warmed up after doing lat pull downs, because you're going to get some secondary bicep activation during a pull down. So with that, they're now warmed up and ready to go. So you don't have a bunch of warm-up sets. Woo! So, now we're done with easy bar curls. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to hammer curls with the dumbbells. 25 pounds, fairly heavy, but should be doable. But we will find out. So, big reason why I like to go into hammer curls after my easy bar curls. So these, you're getting a lot of load onto the bicep, getting both heads to kind of activate, but you're keeping it mostly within the short head, the inside, and building that peak. When you go into a hammer variation, you're going to bring the brachialis into it, and you're going to start building quite a larger width, because since the brachialis attaches down here in the bottom of the bicep, right below it, it makes it look very, very thick from the front. So I like to use them second, so that way the brachialis isn't worn out while doing normal curls. And since this is an easier position than this, I can fatigue them under super high load here, and then still be able to get a moderately heavy load in the hammer curls. So those last 2 reps there, a little dirty. Had to get a bit of a swing into them. But every rep doesn't have to be to perfection, especially when you're in the fatigued state. You've on your last set, it's your last couple reps. As long as you're not like going like this to move those things, give it a little swing, make it a little dirty, get that weight up, but control it all the way back down. That's where you're going to take effect to some negatives. So now that we're done with biceps, we're going to do our one tricep movement for the day, which for tries today, we're going to do some overhead rope extensions. And get the back of the arm now pumped up. It's already had some activation doing bench press, so we are just ready to go straight into these things. So, that finishes up the arm portion for today. So now, all we have left is 2 shoulder movements. We're going to go ahead and move into front, or not front, but side delt raises, and then dumbbell rear flies, being chest supported with the bench. So, that takes care of upper body. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 sets here of abs real fast. And then I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and pose down again today. I did a physique update yesterday. I did it without a pump. Last night I had a cheat meal. So, with doing that, you know, I feel a little bloated. But overall, the pump right now feels real good. So I want to see what that looks like on camera. So I'm going to hit some abs, and then we'll go ahead and go into that. My hair is probably a super mess, so ignore that. Whew. Oh. Woo! Alrighty, y'all. So, I know I'm still a little chunky. We still have a little to lose. But hey, we're getting smaller as we go on. We're getting more and more definition. I know I'm looking bigger. So, I'm completely happy with where I'm at today and where we're heading. So, as long as I can stay out of the cheat meals, we're going to hit 195 by next week for my birthday, which was my current goal. We're going to sit at a little maintenance period at that weight. And then we're going to go ahead and make the cut down to 190. And then, stay there for a little bit again. And then, depending upon how we're looking there, if I hit my 15% body fat goal overall while at 190, that'll be super cool. If not, then we'll go ahead and take it down to like the 188, 185 mark to hit it. Then we're going to work on main gaining from there, just trying to get as much muscle put back on as possible over the next year or so. The overall goal, 200 pounds between 12 and 15% body fat. And we're trying to do this completely natural. So no peptides, no steroids, no SARMs, none of that funny chemical stuff. Just the normal walk into your normal GNC, vitamin shop, whatever freaking supplement shop. If you could buy it there, it's what we're taking. For me, it's Bucked Up products. I use their Bucked Feed protein powder. I use their bulk build, which is their creatine plus glutamine. I switch between their Woke AF and their Mother Bucker pre-workouts, depending upon what I'm doing. And then I take their pump product, their Pump Apocalypse, and their Racked BCAAs. Other than that, I take a fish oil, a daily multivitamin, and a zinc plus copper supplement to help with my low T issues, because they're in like the low 300s. So, shitty part about being in your mid-30s, I turn 36 next week in 7 days. It is what it is. Just gotta deal with it. But, we're making progress still. We were 232, now we're 196. Well, today like 197 and a half. So, I put on 1.5 pounds for my cheat meal yesterday, but that was expected. That's a bunch of carbs, just re-bloating the muscle. But with that, guys, make sure you're working toward your goals. Most of all, just don't be a lazy fuck.